Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn Ullum.
Welcome to Inside Hilltopper Athletics. This is our football edition. I'm joined by head football coach Roger Wiley. And Coach, a lot more fun to do the show today.
Correct. Great outcome, great finish to a game. We had opportunities to put it away, didn't, but we did at the end, and I guess that's all that matters.
Well, it was, I drove down by myself, so that really made the drive way more enjoyable on the way home by myself that I could replay it. But let's go backwards. Let's start on the game-winning drive. So for all the viewers out there, obviously West Liberty scored on the last play of the game to notch their first win. But, Coach, take us through. Concord breaks the 37-yard touchdown run with about 2 minutes left. So what's going through your mind, and take us through that last drive?
Well, the first thing, we had 3 timeouts, so we knew that we had plenty of time. Again, a team that normally has been playing a one safety defense. We knew they'd be in 2 high, so we were just calling our two high routes really for the most part, and just kind of methodically trying to get the ball down the field. There was no rush to throw it down the field deep. We were just trying to pick them and get to a point where we can have manageable conversions, manageable throws, and not try to force something deep. And I think, we practice every Tuesday. We have 2-minute drill. And so I think nobody panicked. Nobody was, on the wrong side of things where, sometimes you get that starry-eyed look in your eyes like, oh, no, we got to go. It was fairly calm. Everybody was in a good mode during that time, that nobody was panicked, and they just knew if we go through the process, we'll have an opportunity.
So you chipped away.
Yes.
The short passing game. So what's going through your mind when we're on their side of the field and the clock's down to 30, 40 seconds?
Yeah, same thing. We knew we had timeouts. I thought we managed the time right and just going down the field. And we knew at that point in time they weren't going to blitz. And so we could run longer developing routes once we got past the 50 because they didn't want to take a chance of somebody blowing the man coverage. And then we got it down to the 10-yard line, after a completed pass inbounds, and we had 4 seconds left, and that's when we called the timeout. Coming over the side, we'd run a play, for the last 2 weeks, and, every time I look at the play, if we changed one route, it'd be a different thing. And Rudy came over running, and he said, Coach, we can run popcorn with a post curl by number 1. And so that's what we did, and it ended up opening wide up. And, again, we knew they were only going to bring three guys and try to drop 8 in the coverage, and we were able to find the seam. He made a great throw, great catch in the end zone, and a little too close. We trained the receivers so much to come back to the football, to be aggressive to the football. He actually was 3 yards deep in the end zone. By the time he caught it, he was maybe 6 inches in the end zone. So, but, when you beat something into the players' heads, you always got to attack the ball when it's in the air, and he did a great job.
Yeah, it was. I'm watching it from their press box, and I thought it was a touchdown, but, you're paranoid in your mind, like,
yeah.
Are they going to roll this 6 inches short? So,
well, when I saw it live, I thought there was no doubt that it was a touchdown because of where he caught the ball. And then when you look at it on film, it's even closer than I thought. I was like, oh, this could have, But both officials were in great position, so they could see. They were right on the line to see where he caught the ball, and obviously he caught the ball in the end zone and was driven out of the end zone.
Yeah, so good route, good throw, good protection on the last drive. I thought he had time to step in and make his throws. So we get the monkey off of our back for sure.
Right.
It would have been – I can't even imagine how discouraging it would have been if the result goes the other way, because as a spectator watching in the press box, it never felt like we were going to lose this football game. I just always felt, I think we're the better team today, but – football's a weird game, and
right. We had some blown opportunities in the red zone offensively, and it's kind of been the same story. Defense from play to play were pretty good, but, they had 2 big plays. The week before was 4 big plays. So I guess we cut them in half. And so, if we can continue to improve, we're going to have a chance.
They scored on the first play of the second half. So
again,
I'm sure
yeah.
that'll be addressed for coming this week. But
and then that's the decision. I elected to take the ball again because, looking at it the previous week, we did have a good drive. The penalties, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And so we opened up with 2 great drives. I mean, offensively, going 13 to 24 on third down conversion is really, really good at this level. And so, we were able to methodically monopolize the clock, which we wanted to do. Jack Meadows is a great quarterback, and we needed to keep him off the field as much as we possibly could. And so that was, the short passing game was working. They were blitzing. We were able to pick it up. We ran the ball somewhat effectively, not as good as I wanted to, but, at least it felt their presence where they couldn't just drop back and play pass, and we caught them a couple of times playing the pass defense where we had longer runs. So we got to continue to do that to be able to mix it up.
We had a big first half, obviously, on offense, almost 250 yards. Did they make an adjustment? Did they do anything differently? Or did we just get conservative and try to maybe use up clock?
No, I don't think we got conservative. At no time did we, other than before that last scoring drive when we got bad field position and there, but, if you look in the third quarter, we blew 2 scoring opportunities getting down there and not making plays. And so, I think pretty much so, the punt where we should have blocked the punt, and that had a major effect on things of flipping the field position, because there's times where I look up and I say, okay, we need to play field position here. Let's be conservative, punt them in the hole, and then we did. And then all of a sudden he hits an 82-yard punt where he could have avoided a rusher and then punted it late, and it went farther than it normally does. And so, and here's the thing, the kids never panicked, and that's the one thing, is it wasn't that, oh, here we go again, here we go again. It was like, no, let's keep going, and that was a good thing. We got good leadership on the sideline. The sideline was engaged, so it was a total team win.
Special teams, we've struggled some.
Mm-hmm.
I thought much better day special teams wise.
Right, we did improve, other than what had been our most consistent had been punt return, and for the most part, and punt return was somewhat. But we'll continue to work. We do have to continue to work to get better on them. Meaning the first kickoff after we scored, we kicked to them. Their returner was 1 tackle away from going the whole way, and we had guys just getting out of their lane. And then, we decided to start kicking the ball all over the place so they couldn't form a return, and I think that helps. We got a big kick into the end zone. So, all things being said, we made a major step this week in improving on special teams. The punt return team, you can't, I don't know how in college football they fake a punt and they got 6 guys downfield. Well, you only got 5 eligible players, so but we were able to cover it. It wasn't a factor in the game. We knew when they brought their backup quarterback in that they were looking to fake depending on numbers.
Yeah, it was, for people that didn't watch the game, we had them bottled up in their own end zone. They've got an Australian rules kicker. He's actually from Australia.
Right.
We get a great rush on the punt. Our guy elevates to block it. He pulls it down, steps to the side, and it went 68 yards in the air.
Right.
And then bounced another 15 to 20. So it was an 83-yard punt, I think, and they did that 3 times. That's what was crazy.
Yeah, they had a couple, and it wasn't the first time. Meaning they've had that same situation happen to them a couple times in previous games, where he was to be able to avoid somebody that potentially could block it and then get off a booming punt.
Yeah. But we went down there, found a way to win. It was a beautiful day. I enjoyed going. I got a chance to catch up with Kenny Osborne, who Coach Osborne.
Yes.
Went to dinner with him, spent the entire game with Kevin Garrett, their athletic director. So I've enjoyed my relationships with the Concord people. But Boy, it was nice walking out of that press box with a win on the last
Yeah.
play. So let me ask you this question. Taking overtimes out of it, have you ever won a game with no time left on the clock? Where we scored on the last play of the game. So it's a walk-off win.
I think there was one time when we were playing Wesleyan here at night and Dakota Conwell hit Anton McCallum on a seam route, and I thought that was the last play.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I should remember that, but
I think there was only one other
I'll
time.
go back and look today.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was pretty darn exciting, and we got a win. So tell me one unsung position player that helped contribute to the win.
One unsung player.
Or position. It doesn't have to be specifically just the player.
Well, I'm going to go with Rudy just because he was playing with a heavy heart. His dad passed away on Wednesday. I didn't think there's no way I could have played. Just knowing the relationship he had with his dad, and he said he wanted to play, and that was kind of the gut check moment for the rest of the team because they knew what he was going through mentally. And to come out and have that type of performance after breaking down, he really made only 2 bad decisions in the pass game. One led to a pick, and one he tried to force it in. Fortunately, the receiver was coming back to the ball and was able to knock it down between 2 defenders. So mine is Rudy just because of that. Like, I couldn't – after the game, I was kind of in awe of what he did in the situation he was in.
Yeah, it was such a tough circumstance. And, if you have those beliefs and someone's looking down to throw the game-winning touchdown with no time left after you endured the loss through the week. So hats off to Rudy. All of West Liberty's prayers are with him, and let's hope he can move forward.
And that's what we're hoping. He's strong mentally.
All right, well, that wraps up this first section. We'll be back to talk about next week's opponent.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Roger Wiley. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Inside Hilltopper Athletics is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Here's your host, Lynn Ullum.
Welcome back to our second segment. I'm Lynn Ullum, Director of Athletics, joined by head football coach Roger Wiley. We just spent the entire first segment talking about the thrilling finish down at Athens, West Virginia over Concord. And now, Coach, we get back home and get to play a rival with a friend of ours and former coach on your staff, Mike Keller. Tell us a little bit about the Pioneers.
Well, offensively, it starts with their quarterback. They have a big freshman quarterback. He's probably 6'4", 6'5", 260 pounds. He can run. He can throw it. And knowing Mike, he's kind of similar to me. We're old school. We know we need to establish the run at some point in time, and then he's going to max protect and probably take some shots deep on us, hoping to get big plays. And you look on the other side, defensively, they've changed where – normally Coach Hill and Coach Keller have always played a 4-man front, and they've been playing more stack looks than anything else. And I don't know if it's because, looking at their starting lineups from the first game to now, there's some guys missing. So I don't know if injuries has caused them to change the front, that they have more skilled kids available. And so they're going to get in some different looks. We're going to see some exotic blitzes offensively. And then their kicking game has always been strong, meaning, no matter where Mike has been, he's made sure that special teams, they got a punter, predominantly his kicker's always in the top 2. They'll kick a lot of field goals. He's fairly conservative when they get into the red zone as far as they don't go for it a lot on 4th down. So really, we're looking at a mirror image. I think they're going through the same struggles and grinds with injuries that we're going to. They've had some great wins this year, but I think a lot of their issues has to go back to health issues, because they've changed from a 4-front to a 3-front defensively. But it's kind of like, this week, we have to change the way we call things, because they know pretty much, him being on staff, what our signals are, how we call things. And so we got a game plan for that. And obviously Coach Hill being on our staff and now their defensive coordinator, he got to look at it for 4 years in a row. So he knows what our audibles, what our checks, what we look for. So we're going to have to, we can't just have wholesale change. We have to do what we do best, but how we get to it is going to be a different process.
Yeah, Glenville's had an unusual season as well. Had a tremendous opening day win, and then they beat Notre Dame.
Right.
And then have been on the short end of a couple of scores. So this league is crazy. You and I talked about it yesterday. Just not even so much who is going to win the game, but even some of the scores of the game have not been unusual or been unusual.
Yeah, it's a battle of attrition, really. Who can stay the healthiest? Because anywhere in Division II, the depth is going to be an issue when you're getting a lot of injuries, or injuries are compiling into one position. And so whoever's lucky enough to stay the healthiest is probably going to win out and win the conference.
Not to bring up a bad thing from years ago, but talking about Division II with the limited scholarships and building depth throughout a roster, I can remember, and this goes a while back, but remember the year where we had no inside linebackers left on the entire team?
Right.
We even moved safeties up, and they got hurt.
Right, and we had it 1 year with the offensive line when we went down and beat Seton Hill with the 2 tight ends starting at tackle, because our line got depleted. And when we started off the year with 15, it's kind of like our wide receiver position right now. We started with 20, we're down to 8. And so, running backs, we started with 7, we're down to 3, and we had to move a wide receiver DB back to running backs, doing a great job. But at some point in time, you hope to start getting players back. And so we're hoping that starts happening soon.
Well, we do, down the road here in a few weeks, we do have an open week for the first time in a while, so maybe we can get some kids healthier.
Yeah, and it's crazy on Division II. We're the only division in America that you have 11 weeks to play 11 games. We wouldn't have that open week without AB, and that's kind of crazy if you think about it, the physical. And so it's going to vote this, I think, January, to see if they can add a week 0, so to say, just so teams can try to spread it out and not have to play 11 consecutive weeks.
Yeah, the injuries in this sport, just as you said, they pile up, and if you don't get an abundance at one position, sometimes you can get through it. But if you're unfortunate and it really hits a position, it's hard to overcome that. In conjunction with our game this week, I want to mention it's Hall of Fame week here, which is one of my favorite weeks of the year. We do the breakfast and then the ceremony before the game, and just to hear these speeches, it's just amazing.
Right.
The experiences that these people have. So we will honor them at halftime as well, where they come out and get their plaques. But a big class, 9 people, so that's going to be a fun day to get these people back.
Well, it just proves over the years the tradition of athletics and the number of great people that have come through here. It comes out when you see those people come back, and they're very supportive and very appreciative of what West Liberty meant to them in their life. And so it's always a great day football-wise, too. We do talk about to our players the legacy that those people have left in their respective sports.
Now, it will be interesting for you, see how tough you are. It's only supposed to be 55 degrees on Saturday. Can you handle that?
I'll be okay as long as it doesn't rain. 55 is okay. Now, that's the only thing. Before 55 was like, okay, I'll probably have a toboggan on. I'll probably have my big coat on. But, Yeah, I looked at that, and then my grandkids and my son and daughter-in-law are coming to visit. I'm going to blame this on Kenzie because Kenzie wants snow. Living in California, she doesn't get to see snow. She goes, Papa, I hope it snows out there. And I'm like, no, we don't want snow. So
yeah, a little early for snow, so let's hope that doesn't happen. But, yeah, we've always teased you that you just can't take the cold. Of course, when you grew up in Hawaii and California, that's
yeah, it is. You never get acclimated. Even though I try, say, okay, it's 50 degrees out today, and then I get out and say, oh my God, how cold this is.
Well, all right. Well, that's going to wrap up. Much better mood this week. Again, thrilling win last week. Got the Pioneers coming in. 1 o'clock kickoff versus Glenville. And, Coach, let's keep this thing rolling and let's get another one.
Yeah, we're going to try. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Disasters happen. Pick the team that takes care of them all. Powered by offices in Wheeling, Morgantown, and Pittsburgh, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration is ready to handle any size emergency at a moment's notice. We have the right people, knowledge, and equipment to respond 24 hours a day.
I'm Roger Wiley. When disaster strikes your home or business, tell your insurance provider you prefer the restoration company the Hilltoppers call, Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Hi, my name is Roger Watson. I'm an exercise physiology student here at West Liberty University, and here's what it's like to be an exercise phys student. For the first class, we got group fitness leadership with Ms. Wack.
Today we're reviewing for the first 10 minutes of class choreography, structures, and dance aerobics movements, and then we're getting into cardio kickboxing today.
Exercise physiology is the study of the human body when in motion. I think that's the best way I could describe it, whether it's under serious duress, like you're in a sporting event and you're trying to maximize ability, or just simple things as understanding, running mechanics for your daily jogs that you like to take in the morning. The exercise physiology program at West Liberty is really unique in a couple different ways. The professors we have are some of the top professors in the state. They've had extensive experience in their fields, and they offer a wide variety of ways to learn and better yourself. We also have access to state-of-the-art technology, quality ex-phys lab room, and many resources to once again continue to better yourself.
Go out, and then we're going to go back in.
Ex-phys is something that you can use in your day-to-day life. But then if you're obviously, we go to school to get an education to hopefully pursue a great career, ex-phys is one of the most rewarding careers. Working with people and helping them physically change as well as mentally change is one of the most enjoyable things I've ever had the opportunity in doing.
You're looking at your punching. I'm not going to do it fine. So turn your whole body.
All right, now we're into biomechanics with Dr. Hannah.
We have the guest speaker today. This is Mr. Chris Dunaway. Please welcome him. I'm excited to have him here. His new current role is now the International Athleticism and Performance Coordinator for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
You get an anatomy class that's going to teach you overviews. You get some biomechanics involved. Then your 2 ex-phys labs are really important. Ex-phys 1, you're learning how to take blood pressures, do basic stuff that even clinical nurses might learn, stuff like that, because as you're learning ex-phys, you're getting more and more closer to the medical field. It's not just as simple as, a PE teacher. You're learning hands-on blood pressure, heart rate monitoring, exercise testing. We've had a few guest speakers come in that are really unique and offer their perspective in whatever field they're working on. So there's a lot of things that have been really great about the program. Even coming in just like your day-to-day stuff, like the classmates I've had, the professors I work with, it takes ordinary stuff to another level.
Come on, do it again. Squat down. So come back up. Did it improve? Yes.
So as far as ex-phys goes, you can really branch off into a couple different careers. Obviously, physical therapist is one of them, PTs. We also have some guys that are actually going to go into the PA program. If you do enough clinical stuff, you can go directly into that. Obviously, you can be a clinical exercise physician, right? You can also lead into, if you really want to go more medical, you can also look at becoming a cardiologist, and this could branch off very easily into that. You can work in cardiac rehab in a hospital. There's a lot, depending on what you want your day-to-day be like, ex-phys is going to have a career for you. Next class we got up is cardiac rehab with Dr. Metz.
We're going to use our normal process, only today we're going to actually be moving strips, so it's not going to be a still reading.
I chose XFiz because, well, for one, I'm an athlete. That makes it easy. It transitions in very well. If you're an athlete, you're learning stuff that can literally help take your game to the next level. But XFiz also offers a lot of things that, for me, just made sense. The opportunity to help people reach their goals, right? Physical goals is, I think, one of the things that America really could use a second look at, because obesity rates are rising, people are having all type of cardiovascular issues, stuff like that. And if we could take a chance to look at exercise as one of the foundations of life, then we would be better off. And I want to help people do that. And so the XFiz is lined up right in that way. All right, guys, today I'm volunteering at a local organization that I'm blessed to have the opportunity to work with. I volunteer at a local children's organization, and I was given this really wonderful opportunity actually from one of my coaches. And that's one of the things I think West Liberty offers best is opportunities outside of school. No matter who you're with, you're going to connect in them. And I could say working with this organization has been seriously one of the most life-changing things I've had. It just kind of puts a lot of your own stuff in perspective, and then the opportunity to try to aid them and try to help in their journey of self-betterment. It's something that I enjoy going to every single day that I get a chance to. Like I said, I'm only able to do this because of the connections that West Liberty has offered me. Down, up, 9, one more, down, up, 10. Thanks for checking out the program here today with me. If you need more information, check out our website.
Hi everyone, my name's Ariana Needith. I'm a nursing major at West Liberty University, and today I'm showing you around my hometown, Parkersburg, West Virginia. Into Stoked Coffee.
I would describe Parkersburg as a small town, but there are a lot of hidden gems that not a lot of people know about. I would say that we have a very rich history, and there are a lot of different things to do, a lot of different local shops and restaurants, and it's a great hometown feel and a great place to grow up.
Parkersburg and go to a couple shops.
Parkersburg and West Liberty are both small towns, and you get to know a lot of people. And for a student from Parkersburg, West Lib is a good choice because it is an easier transition because you're going to another small town and you can get to know people easily. I chose West Lib because of their amazing nursing program and the fact that I was able to cheer there. My grandma is also an alumni at West Liberty, and she took me to visit the campus. And as soon as I got there, I loved it, and I knew that it was the place for me, and I feel like I made the best choice for myself.
Wait, that's cute! So now we're at Fort Borman Park.
So Fort Borman is a historical Civil War site. It's a very big tourist attraction here. And whenever my friends from West Liberty come to visit me, that's where I always take them because you can see all the sights of Parkersburg.
So now we're gonna go into our alma mater, Parkersburg Catholic High School, and see some of our old teachers.
The transition from high school to college was not too difficult because I went from a really small school to a small school as well. But at the same time, it was a lot different because I've only ever been in Parkersburg, and that's all I've ever known was going to a private school. But the transition was smooth. As soon as I got there, I made lots of friends and had a lot of people that were able to support me with the transition and encourage me.
Thanks for visiting my hometown, Parkersburg, West Virginia, and be sure to check out West Liberty University.
From humble beginnings in 1837, West Liberty University has been home to thousands of students. Whether you're a recent high school graduate or looking to complete a college degree later in life, starting your educational career at West Liberty University will be the catalyst for your future. This is a place where you will discover who you are and where you belong, surrounded by lifelong friends and a supportive faculty and staff. Start your journey home at westliberty.edu.